Hello, my name is Beverly Brock, and I am a student at ECPI University in the Masters of Education in Nursing program, and I'm going to do a presentation for my class. I am a nurse administrator in a small facility. I named my facility Healthcare at Large, and at Healthcare at Large, my responsibility is to get a technology project going to build a safer electronic communication system. And the system will include an electronic medical record system, an email system, nursing communication, and physician communication system. And I have full control of everything that in aspect to this system. According to McGonigal and Mastrin, 2015, I'm going to use the system development life cycle, and it's used to make an appropriate organizational decision for technology adoption. And the cycle is this cycle is needed to help implement the technology product that I'm building for my unit. And I want to ensure the system is safe and that it accommodates the employees and produces an efficient system that will protect patient privacy as well as the employees of my facility. And as the administrator of Healthcare at Large, the system needs to accommodate my position as well as the other staff members there. It needs to support the financial aspects of the institution, meet all risk management and human resources needs, as well as payroll, patient registration, acuity events, communication, and scheduling functions for the facility. And this information was obtained from the text as previously mentioned. And within my scope of practice, I would be required to function in this position as nurse administrator. I've got to know everything about this system. I've got to be just like in the driver's seat and ensuring that everything there works properly. So with doing this, I'm going to have to interact with all the managers from all the previously mentioned areas. And in my contact with these managers, I would want to make sure that there's a smooth transition. So with the implementation of the system development life cycle, you implement everyone into this particular plan, and you do it in steps. And during the implementation process and the steps that you go through, you're constantly reviewing and looking at the system to make sure that the system is going, that this particular model is going to work for you as well. And with the implementation of the system, I'm going to have to, as I say, work closely with everyone there to make sure that the system exchange, when we take the old system out and put the new system in, that everything is good. So in doing this, by me being the, I'm going to have to know a little bit about informatics. So this would be my role as well. And I would also hire a person to work IT for me. And my IT person would be responsible for ensuring that my system would work properly. And in hiring the IT person, he would implement my development plan and see it from beginning to end. That would be his job. And with him seeing it from beginning to end, this would be beneficial to me because as the system is set up with our trial run, with everything that we're doing, my IT person would be right in the middle of all this and making sure with communication with me and the other units that it will go smoothly. Now, with the implementation of my system, I've got to make sure that all patient information, that my employee information, everything is kept secure. Now, looking at a video that I did see about the about operating systems and informatics, there was a professor that gave some information, and his name was Yasnov. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. And he had a good idea as far as the health information was concerned, keeping a health record bank. And I would want to employ him as well to come in and speak with my IT gentleman, and also to speak to the physicians, the clinicians that I have there about the health record bank, and see if we could get patients there to be subscribers. And once the patients were subscribers, this would be a good thing, because the cost of this would also, I think the cost would be efficient to my establishment, in that the physicians would have secure data. It would assist with our data banks and all of our data information being kept secure, because the only people who would be in and out of our health record system would actually be the physicians. And some of our clinicians in the nursing may have some access to the information too, but mainly the patient would be the person who would only be able to access this information outside of the health personnel. And I think this would help keep my system secure, as I said earlier. And not only would this system help with the physicians, it would help the patients. So every patient that would subscribe, it would also give them, say, like notifications. So if the patient had a medication that needed to be refilled, the patient could get the medication refilled. If the patient needed to have, say, like a screening of a breast cancer, or say it's time for them to get a prostate exam, this system would notify them. And I think it would also help with prevention and promotion. When I say prevention and promotion, health prevention and health promotion. And it will also help the patients, giving reminders if they needed a flu shot. It would send them a reminder to say, hey, it's time for you to get a flu shot. And I think this would be a good area for me to look into, like I say, with my IT guy, to promote our communication system as well. Now, in communicating with my staff, communicating with outside personnel, we're going to have an email system that would have to be filtered. And with our filtering system, I would also want my operating system to be secure as well. So this will be an area that I would go over with the IT person, to ensure that once we implement the health record bank, that everything with our system, we'd have malware protection, all kinds of firewalls up to keep from having security breaches and any type of information breach. And with this being said, the system development lifecycle model would be the best model for me to follow as far as getting my system done. As I say, my IT guy would manage the project by assessing the feasibility of the project, the design analysis, the system specifications, programming, testing, implementation, maintenance, etc. He would have all of this done, and like I say, right down to destruction. And he's going to be there literally from the beginning to the end. And like I say, if I contacted Mr. Yasnov to come in to play with him, we could see if we could implement this into our system. And I think it would be very productive in a way to help my system. And with all that being said, with the exchange of information, we now look at social media. I would also want to implement social media into my institution, because I think it can provide a gateway to the community, and it would also provide limited access as far as people in our facility to, say, like the public. I think I would assign a public relations staff member to maintain this website, and it would be strictly for information only. And feedback from this site would be given to me and also the other administrators in the facility. And the page would be monitored for quality improvement and patient complaints to help with patient satisfaction. And I think that would be a very positive thing that we could do as far as implementing social media into our system. But like I said, would be very limited. When looking at privacy, we would also have confidentiality statements that would have to be signed by staff. And in signing these confidentiality statements, we would also keep HIPAA, which is the Health Insurance Portability Accountability Act, and also the with the implementation of this, we would make sure that people understood what the guidelines for HIPAA are as far as keeping privacy and patient confidentiality. And we would also use the Health Information Technology for Economic and Clinical Health Act of 2009. And we would also give specifics on this act to our employees. They would get staff development training, and they would have to sign confidentiality statements upon hiring and uphold the standards of the facility as we relate it to public health information. And with this being done, they would also get competencies in training on the system as well as security. I think in all hospital settings, this should be a mandated effort, because once we keep our staff trained, keep them abreast of confidentiality, keep them abreast of HIPAA and all the rules and regulations that go along with that, I think we promote a safe healthcare environment. And in conclusion, I think healthcare at large would be an excellent facility to be a patient and also to be a member of the staff there. And like I say, my clients as well as staff members would be protected from security breaches with all the things that we would have in promotion of our sound operating system. And with security training, it would promote a secure environment, and we would have a security team in place as well that would monitor each aspect of the operating system. And anytime anything was noted, improper access, anything that we saw or felt would if we saw anything that looked like any type of breach that had occurred or the possibility of one occurring, we would be able to notify staff and notify if it was employees or any of our customers that were involved. They would be noted and notified in a timely manner. And like I say, healthcare at large would be an excellent place once I implement this electronic communication system. And these are the guidelines that I would use. And this is Beverly Brock. And thank you for listening.